Hello. Well, for many people, the state of Florida is known as a beer wasteland. You'll find usually nothing but macro brews like your Bud Lights, your Miller Lights, and stuff like that. However, there is one brewery that's kind of trying to put a stop to that, and that's out of Tampa, Florida, and that's the Cigar City Brewery, which started up not too long ago in the confines of one of the old Florida breweries that has gone defunct. And now they're making some pretty world-class beer, as a matter of fact, down in Tampa, Florida, which beautiful place, I'm sure, especially this time of year. Never been to Tampa, but I've seen photos, I've seen movies, I've seen TV shows, and it looks like a pretty neat place. I'd like to go sometime, and it's not that expensive either. This is their Maduro Brown Ale, which is an English brown ale, as a matter of fact. English brown ales are kind of a stronger version of the English mild ale. They're usually more malty and robust. Some of the more popular kinds of English brown ales is the Newcastle. The Newcastle probably the most accessible and well-known of the English brown ales. So pretty world-class kind of style of beer. Not tried too much in the U.S. You don't really come across too much United States-made English brown ales. However, this is one of them, and one of the cool things, if you look on the back of the bottle, first of all, we'll check the logo out. Pretty neat logo. Also, it's 5.5% alcohol by volume, which English brown ales basically fall between the 5 to 7% range, so this is right in there. They also kind of market it as a beer that could be a fine accompaniment to a premium cigar, and I've actually had a cigar with this, based on what the back of the bottle of the beer said, and I actually had a Maduro cigar with Maduro Brown Ale, and it was absolutely spectacular. So that's the only time I've ever had Maduro was with a cigar, so I'm going to have it without the cigar accompaniment today, and we'll open it up, and we'll pour it into a pint glass. You could do the pint glass, the Becker, the Nonic, the mug. That's all fair game as far as the English brown ales. And English brown ale is also a bit darker than the mild ales, so this one is a very dark beer, as a matter of fact, for the style. I believe a little darker than the Newcastle is. Very, very dark brown, with a big fluffy head to it, as you can see. Wow, grabbing a whiff of it, it almost smells... And it is going to sound awful, but it almost smells cigar-like. But I mean that as a compliment and as a good thing to this beer, that I can kind of smell a hint of chocolate, but also a hint of, I wouldn't say tobacco, but something that would basically be a good an accompaniment to tobacco, to a cigar. And that's why I think, this was so good when I had this with a cigar. I wouldn't really think of pairing beer with a cigar. It's more of a scotch kind of thing, not necessarily beer, but this one was a great accompaniment. Let's grab a taste of it. Wow. You know what, this kind of starts out as a bit of a porter or a stout, not a dry stout, but an American stout. Almost tastes like an American stout / porter mix. But it definitely has a unique tone to it, if you ask me. Very, very good tone. And this is a beer that I don't know if I would want to get in a case, in that it's not really my cup of tea as far as being overly sessionable, where you could just have this throughout an entire month. But just for a session, every once in a blue moon, it's just a great beer in the style, and I think is very, very good that a beer like this can come out of Florida, because, Florida does need a beer renaissance. So I would give Cigar City Maduro Brown Ale an 8 out of 10.